Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Core. Your host JD. With me as always is Jason, Comics Minutes Explained. And I got two guys on the other side of the panel, on the other side of the fence over here, that are from the Friday night show. And we gave them the brief talk. The reason why this 5 minutes, gave them the talk that this is, we don't usually tolerate some of that Friday night behavior around here, but we might let a few things slide. Now, tonight we're going to talk. I'm very happy to have these two guys here. Two guys, we have conned together before, and we are conning together again in 1 week from tonight, or 1 week from tonight. I'll be packing. I'll be flying in. I'll be landing in Baltimore, hopefully around 1:30ish, coming in from Charlotte. So I'll be doing that. So we're going to talk about Baltimore Comic Con as well as the reading list and everything else. But first, I have one thing to say about Mr. John's Comics with Kids. Feel better, my good friend. He is feeling a little under the weather, as you can see. Oh, he's joining us in the chat. Fighting a cold, but it's nice to see it takes two guys to replace me. It does. One to shout out the chat. We need that. And one to ramble on and up incessantly besides myself and Jason. And that third person is always Mr. Drew Manchu. So with that to be said, welcome to Wednesday Comic Core Unlimited. Our good friend over there is rocking the blue shirt. Mine's in the dryer. It's actually dry and ready to go. I just forgot when I realized I was wearing my merch, but whatever. That's what we do. First, I'm going to show you how it goes real quickly. Jason, how are you today? First, what's the LP in the background? And I want you to show
so like
that new record.
I just came from work, and like I started working at this. Yeah, I'm actually the first person in the world to own this record, Vastum. The newest album is called Or Official Purge, but it's really cool, like death metal, doom stuff. But this is like their more limited variant. It's kind of like a bone cream swirl. Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty dope. It's got like I want to say probably maybe I would guess 150. So still a high grade. Yeah, not quite 180, but man. I think I also got some like other variants too. Man, I had a fun time today just snatching up stuff that I like didn't get a chance to buy, but like now that I work there, I'm just like snatching up whatever. So I got like the other edition of this one. Yeah, it's like a nice black splatter with some multicolors in the center. Cool. Yeah, dude.
May I show what I'm bringing to you in Baltimore?
Yeah. No, you might have out on the after hours, but then this one too is a band called Tomb Mold. It's like their first one, and it's repressed. It's like clear and splatter. And then I got like one more. Actually, got 2 more. Sorry. Yeah, and this one it's like a nice blue gold for another Tomb Mold album, and then this one also. Sorry, last one. I didn't mean for us to go so long, but yeah, this one also. I'm the first person in like the world to own this record as well. Nightfell, the newest album from them.
Bring that
and this is also the more rare variant. This is more of like a rainbow splatter in the center, and then on the other side is kind of like a green kind of slime. But really nice colored vinyl, man. Great stuff. If you like death metal.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing a care package for a few people, but for one in particular, Mr. Misexplained. I wanted to share this with everybody here because next week.
Oh hell yeah, MF Doom.
But
that's awesome.
MF Doom. I found this at the
greatest rapper alive.
All right.
Totally. This is one of those hip hop guys from about 3 years ago that I got into. Really hardcore rap, just good stuff. But I honestly, when I saw it, the reason why I got it was honestly the cover. Obviously, this is a cover purchase. It's a golden age purchase, but it's only from a few years ago. This has got a nice little alternative poster that comes with it. I'll just show this.
That's awesome. I love MF Doom.
See it. So this is like, I guess, the limited edition. It says whatever that means.
Hell yeah. You got a poster inside. Cool.
Yeah, you get the poster inside. And it's from the Jurassic Club Plastic Eyes here. We also, by the way, Jason, we got a new vinyl store, the fourth vinyl store within a block of my house. 4 breweries, 4 vinyl stores. So if you like beer and records, you can go here.
That sounds like paradise to me.
Yeah, why the hell aren't we doing a con in your town? Let's do that.
Yeah, let's just do that next time.
Yeah, we're working on getting a comic shop down here that's got something. So we introduced Jason.
Just go to your house and shop through your boxes.
Before I go into anything here now, shout out to the other guys here. Let's go with Carson because I know he's got a job to do real quick, and I think he's going to start that.
Yeah.
But, how you doing, Carson?
Oh, not too bad. Thanks for
Yeah.
welcoming us on this wonderful show, Comic Core Unlimited. I definitely need to get in this chat because a lot of people I haven't seen before. A lot of people join us. We got Helping YouTube Channel Shout Out Show 24/7 saying hi. How are you doing tonight? We got Ricky Markstadt back in the chat once again. Unfortunately, I did not get Gwenpool 3. I'll be 100% honest. I didn't know they're still making Gwenpool. I missed out on my.
It just restarted. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay, we'll find out shortly from Drew about that book. We got Just a Rican and his comics.
Yeah,
What is
Just a
going on,
Rican.
man? Rod the Rican, that guy's awesome. And we got Old Wolf 65 just popping in to say hi. Well, if you're watching this on Rewind, hello, Old Wolf. We got GTLORBLX saying hi. What's going on? Poor
Hello.
man's with a question. He says, "Are we doing
PMC.
Baltimore?" We'll see who survives long enough to do that. It's going to be interesting.
Schedule permitting.
It's on.
Schedule
We'll
permitting.
see if we can find I'm sure we can find somewhere shadier than China. Oh, I don't know. That's pretty shady.
Hey, I don't know if we can do shooter in Chinatown.
We got John's Comics with Kids. Hope you're feeling well. He says he needs one of those Paul Al Ghul Lazarus pits. Thirsty Rabbit, thanks to you. Good day. I love that name. Big
Yep.
shout out to Fish Tropic, man. He's a big fan of Comic Core, the great legend. He is my first subscriber as well. He's slowly starting to live stream himself, and he's sending the aquatics community our way. So definitely a huge shout out to Fish Tropic. We got Hudak Comics and Movies. What's going on, my turtle collecting brother? How you doing? Always like seeing Hudak in the chat.
Big fan of Russ.
We got Perry Comics. He's lurking. He's keeping on the DL in his blue blazer. How you doing tonight? And of course, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. We got Chris Barrett in the chat. How you doing? And then Comic Man Andy snuck in there. There's the pinky gimmick for you, Andy. I know you like that. Other than that, I'll turn it over to Drew Manchu, baby.
Oh man, I spent my evening watching wrestling. I spent my day picking pumpkins. I spent my morning having my video file for my weekly X-Men review totally corrupted when I went to add the animations to it. So yeah, look for that tomorrow instead. And maybe I'll get off my ass and do it. Maybe I'll just scrap it and review the whole damn thing since it's over. But yeah, beyond that, got some pumpkins, got some cider today, and watched some AEW tonight. And yeah, man, having a great day. Decided to hop on here and talk comics with you guys.
Nice. Want to thank everybody for those of you. I recognize a lot of the people here. They're in the chat that were watching last night on Golden Guys. We had a great time last night. Part 2 of conning next week as well as some special. We have a very special guest coming eventually. We're working on getting him. I showed some of his books he was getting rid of today. They were pretty impressive. So back to what we do. We always start off this Unlimited show with the reading list. I'm going to go over mine really quick. I didn't get to mine again, but again, my reading list is very simple. It's not written. It's not Silver Surfer or Thor or a few of the indies, which none of them came out today. But I did get good news that A Baron is coming out again. So A Baron's got another issue coming out, and Rylan Grant himself will be at Baltimore, which is cool because we've been chatting and tweeting and talking for a while, and me trying to get him on the show, and now I'll eventually.
Actually, I can get him, dude. No problem. Like I'm friends with him. Like,
yeah,
we follow each other on Twitter. Yeah, he used to. He interviewed recently on Comic Cast, and like after that, we made a huge bond about like Rocky 4.
Good.
And so we like
We're
love
bringing
Rocky
him over.
4. We talk nothing about Rocky 4.
Man.
Yeah, dude, I'm
I'm
excited. I'm gonna be stoked.
We're
Like,
gonna have a good time.
I'm excited to meet that dude. Like, yeah.
I want to really excited about meeting him in person because I've been tweeting him about. I mean, he sent me some really great gifts, and he didn't have to do that.
Awesome.
I was literally just
Yeah.
shouting out his. I was telling
Like
him.
Banjax is amazing. And Aberrants. Yeah.
I can't understand how it's not as big as I think it should be because to me it was the best work of last year. Indie work of last year. Probably up there with Jeff Lemire's Gideon Falls, in my opinion.
Totally.
And
I love Aberrant and Banjax. He's such a great writer, man.
That was part of Oblivion Song, and I don't consider those guys indies because it's Image, but really ones. It's I think it's Aftershock. or Action Lab. Who does that one? That one is
He's on Action Lab. Yeah, it's
he's
Action
on
Lab.
Action Lab. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's that one. Cool. All right, so
Hell yeah.
that's what I haven't really been reading much. Let's skip along. Let's go to Jason because Drew, I think, is going to close it out because I want him to just going to talk about some X-Men, which we all know is the
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about
Oh,
that.
for
Like,
sure.
this
We're
is
gonna talk
the only
about
thing
that.
I've read today. It's the only thing I read today so far, and it was amazing. Like, I think House of X and Powers of 10 are going to go down as like my favorite series like this year. It's just incredible. A whole nother level, whole new way of like comic book writing. Hickman really showed like how things should be done.
Mhm.
And it's just incredible. And then also I had to pick up Joker by John Carpenter. So I'm excited to read that. I had to pick up last week's Punisher, Rosenberg's last issue.
It's the last one. What do you
so good.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
dude.
About
And then, dude, I loved it. But like, I don't think that Baron Zemo's dead. You know, I think Ghost was trying to help him out, so he kind of just made him disappear. I think.
I want to say that this is the first time we're actually seeing you bringing out physical comics.
Yeah, yeah, right. It's been a while. But
90% of the time,
because now that I work at a new job, like.
now he's actually
Now like, yeah, my new place that I work at is like right by a comic book store, and like the hardest for me to like to do is like to get to a comic book store, but this is so convenient. Like, so every Wednesday I'm just like, bam, I'm like stop in, pick up like a couple issues. Mostly I'll still get stuff I really want to get, like for instance the Amazing Fantasy Facsimile. Like, you know, it's going to be like $20-$30 in a year. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had to get one. I had to get one.
Is that what everybody was showing today? I didn't.
Oh
get
yeah,
it.
yeah, brand new facsimile,
Mm.
high quality paper, beautiful
Yep.
printing, all the
It
is
original
awesome.
ads. Marvel does the facsimile.
It looks like they did a good job with the coloring this time.
Oh yeah, it's
they do
amazing.
a great job with all the facsimile colorings, man. I honestly think it's
It's way better than
fantastic.
True Believers.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I love
Yeah.
the True Believers. Don't get me wrong.
Oh
but-
yeah, the True Believers are great too because they're a buck and they're fun and you could toss those around. But like the Fantastic Four 1 facsimile, and when I had the Fantastic Four 1, the real one, Fantastic Four 1 facsimile was phenomenal. That was the first one I remember them doing, which was 100% including the ads inside and everything else. Perfect. The other one I got that they did was the Marvel feature, number 1, the first Defenders, which was one of my favorite books. I still say that was, you know, and I agree with you on this one. I think if you got pickies out, if you want to do one thing and one thing only, pick up those facsimiles while you can. If you want to spend the extra money, or just buy the True Believer to read the story, but I think to experience the artwork without the smell, that's pretty much what you're getting.
For $4, man, you can't turn down those facsimiles.
No.
The nostalgia
Yeah, you
that it
can't beat
gives you just reading through it, reading through something that came out before my grandfather was born. You know.
Yeah, I still have
Yeah.
my Action Comics 1 in the poly bag, which is saying like I've got my X-Force 1 in the poly bag.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Probably right. Probably not too far because it's always a joke on when I always call this guy. Will you take this in a trade when we do trading online? When we do a webcam, we sit there, we do trading books or whatever. I always was like, "What are you going to offer for this?" And it's like super mega key. Always is that X-Force 1 in a poly bag is always my go-to. That's my
Yeah, I
bet.
saw in a $10 bin at a con I went to on Sunday. I saw an X-Force 1 and I started just laughing. I'm just like,
$10?
$10? What?
How
Should
is
be
that
free.
is that for all of them?
Yeah, you would think, yeah, just
X-Force
got all the
1
cards
and a
thrown in at
9.8 is
least.
a $15 book, like a slabbed 9.8 X-Force.
Yeah,
1. It's a
yeah.
$15 book.
I will say that everybody jokes is you have to find the one with the rare cards in it that is still in the back of the poly bag. What
They're all
rare?
damn cards.
Boy, yeah, what rare cards?
Yeah,
Anyway,
please get me the Shatterstar card. You know, I have that one. I have a Bishop one too. So anyway, what else you read? Was that about it, Jason?
Yeah, that's all I had on me that I picked up today.
Seawood.
I picked up 5 books to read this week, so I got me Hellmouth #1. So I've been loving the Buffy Boom stuff. Nothing too fancy here. There was I think it was $4 instead of 5. Luckily, I could be wrong, but Angel Comes to Sunnyvale. Yeah, Frizen did the A cover. So at the very least, if you're a Frizen cover collector, you'll be happy with the Buffy stuff. I think she does some of the covers coming out this month. But Angel comes to Sunnydale to help Buffy fight the opening of the Hellmouth. Drusilla is actually trying to sacrifice Spike, who we all know and love from the show, to open up the Hellmouth. And yeah, it's just a solid action. I mean, there's really nothing else going on in the story right this second in that. I guess except Anya's moving the magic box or whatever, something like that. I bought this Batman's Grave #1. I had no idea what this book was, but when I saw Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch were the creative team, I decided to give it a shot. The first half of this book, I kind of enjoyed it. It was more about Alfred's point of view, which I always kind of dig when Batman books kind of go away from Batman's point of view, like Batman Year One with Detective Gordon, perfect example. But in my opinion, it kind of fell flat the second half. Not kind of, but not really. I don't know if I'm going to sit on it for 12 parts.
I know. That's why I didn't pick it up, dude. 12 parts. I was like, nah.
If it was like a 4-parter, I would be more interested, maybe seeing where it's going. But at this point, I'm just going to hold off. I did respect the fact that they had a lot of Batman detective work. So, but
awesome.
Then again, I don't want to.
I'm excited to read it.
All pages of detective work. So definitely, like, if you want a little bit of off-kilter style Batman, so Jason, this would probably definitely be for you. So check it out.
I'm really excited to read it.
There's a couple of genres within both Marvel and DC that happens where they do a point of view. Different point of view. One of my favorite ones, and Drew, I know you get a kick out of this being a big Marvel guy, was the Jarvis Avengers.
Oh, love Jarvis.
When Jarvis,
the
Avengers is great. Or Jarvis, Thor, and Hercules. Jarvis and Hercules.
That's my favorite Thor issue from that era. Is the one where it's Jarvis and Hercules, and they're gonna plan a feast. All right, and they're walking through the park and they see some kid getting bullied. Because he likes Thor. And they're like, Thor sucks. The kids are like, Thor sucks. And Hercules is like, I know Thor. I beat the crap out of him a bunch of times. And at the end, he has to lie. And he's like, no, Thor kicked my ass all the way back to New Jersey just to make the kid feel good about himself. It was a really, really great issue. I absolutely love it. Check out my channel. I actually have a review of that issue on my channel. It's one of the few videos on my channel that people should go and check out.
I like Evil Jarvis from Secret Invasion.
That's the cover of that says something about Simonson, and it's got because I think Palmer took over that issue, and Simonson took off that one issue, and it's busting Walt Simonson's face. So it's always a funny book to bring up to Walt Simonson that it's kind of busting his chops.
It's the best era of Marvel for cover copy.
Oh yeah,
by far.
I mean, comedy in general. I mean, John Byrne. Thank you. He did. What John Byrne did with Savage She-Hulk, and then Sensational She-Hulk was just mind-boggling. And that was in the 80s, and that was towards the end of it all. But if it wasn't for that stuff ending, we could never get the stuff that we get today. But good stuff. What do we got here?
What did you have more books, right?
Oh yeah, of course I got a couple more books. Yeah, Dr. Doom #1 this week. This was a fun book. I actually really enjoyed it. It might be going on the pull list actually. So in this one, it starts off with people trying to solve global warming, and Doom is just like, your plan sucks. It's gonna blow up the moon. You open up a black hole too close to Earth. Just Dr. Doom being a jerk, and it's a lot of fun. Meanwhile, you gotta get inside Dr. Doom's mind. He's having I don't know if they're hallucinations, visions, or what he's hoping is wishful thinking, but you kind of see him as a normal person with an atomic family, and he's just hanging around with the son, fishing when his son's being a smartass. And none of these people actually exist, so it's kind of weird to see what's going on inside the psyche of Dr. Doom. And then you also just get to see him rule Latveria. So when people kind of start to question him about the global warming thing, he basically tells them to F off. My highlight of this issue is where there's this newscast, and he's being interviewed on the newscast, and he's just sitting there in his throne looking all evil, and he's just like, that plan sucks for global warming. And then the newscasters cut him off, and the dude's like, yeah, he got beat by Squirrel Girl. He doesn't know anything about global warming. And then he's like, find me that newscaster victorious. And then now this guy's just hanging as a trophy in Latveria for the rest of the issue, and it's pretty funny. So really enjoyed this issue. It was a lot of fun. And then I also got Ice Cream Man. It's number 15.
Yeah, how
Nice
is that
cover.
getting
Wow.
better?
I still am enjoying this book. It's still, I mean, for the most part, it's still, anthology style horror.
Yep.
They did a couple issues around, I think 8, 9, and 10, where they tried to give him the Ice Cream Man a backstory, and that was like the worst of the Ice Cream Man runs.
That's when I checked out.
That's I was done at 7. I mean, I bought 8, but I never bought 9. I was like, 7 wasn't that good either.
I stopped around 4, but I mean, I still look at the variant covers every time they're on the shelf.
I will say that the first 2 were phenomenal, and I was real excited. 3, and then it literally looks like they're writing.
I think the last one I picked up was that guitar dude when he's like making music, and that was like pretty fun for me.
They still have some cool issues out there. Like they did one issue that was the exact same forwards and backwards, and the guy was just kind of stuck in a labyrinth. So that was cool.
Nice.
They try to be very experimental with this book at times.
Yeah, I like that.
Sometimes they go flat, and sometimes they knock it out of the park. So that's why I just keep this on the list. This one wasn't anything too crazy complex. Lady, she goes to get her coat from the coat check. Thus the title of this book, The Coat Check. And she gets a coat. There's this weird kid with a balloon, like, that's not your coat. And she's like, you got a finger in that coat. That's the cover of the girl. She finds a finger in her coat. And then the twist at the end, it's her finger, and then she's older. So a lot of craziness going on. And still a lot of fun, especially around Halloween season.
The interior art in that looks like King of the Hill on acid. Like it's King of the Hill on acid.
It's very trippy. I mean,
that's awesome.
I give it credit for what it was and what it is. I mean, I think
I would love to catch up and read them all again.
I'm probably going to go get a trade now because I want to see how it's going. If you're still reading it, I'm probably going to go get it.
Like I said, it's just so good that I haven't had I kind of was like, man, I've got 15 issues of this already. Usually I would have taken most Image titles off my pulls by now because they just kind of get complacent and flat. But usually, like, you don't have to read them all for the most part because they're all like single issue reads for the most part. Mm-hmm. And it makes it very enjoyable to read by the month. So it's always a good chuckle for $3.99 basically. And sometimes, like I said, there was that one issue, the forwards and backwards that were the same, and then there was another issue where they had like 3 colors, like one would be here, one here, and one here, and it was the guy like getting killed off in 3 different timelines for the entire issue, basically. So it's just very interesting. But yeah, I mean, you never know what you're going to get each month with Ice Cream Man. And then my last read, I went ahead and picked up this Black Label Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity from Cami Garcia. And the art is done by both Miko Soyan, and then there's I think 4 or 5 pages done by Mike Mayhew. This is the Mike Mayhew cover, which that's why I was I just want to pick this up because holy crap, Mike Mayhew's doing some interior work. When's the last time?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
So I went ahead and just picked it up because I'll show at least one of the pages he did because they do look immaculate.
Oh yeah,
and then I can say this too: all the Soyan stuff is actually in black and white, so it has this noir style feel to it. But then of all things, the flashbacks are in color. So when you get to
for me, it got to the point where I was like, I'm wondering if he got real life models and just drew over them, especially on the next page. If you turn the page. Too. Yeah, dude, that next page with the girl in the bathtub that killed herself or died, whatever. If you look really close, it just looks like lines are drawn over a photograph. You know what I mean? The flowers are totally drawn in, but she looks like a photo model.
Which
and then with lines on top of her mouth is and stuff.
Of work in his paintings too, so I wouldn't.
Which is cool. Yeah,
I've often said that Mayhew's best work has never been comics that we bought. Right. It's always been art that he's shown at his on his art books. If you ever see his art books, they're ridiculously good.
Yeah. So Mike Mayhew,
and that one's one of 8, I think. Right? Isn't that 8-part series or something like that?
9.
Something crazy.
That's why I'm
9. That's ridiculous, dude.
Ridiculous. It's $6 a pop. I don't know what 9 copies of this.
Yeah.
It may be trade or hardcover worthy. Like I said, I didn't hate this issue. It's just a weird take on Harley. To me, it felt like I was reading Veronica Mars adapted into the comic, adapted into Gotham City. So I don't know why we needed Harley Quinn. I guess just so we could put her name on it and sell the book. Along with Joker, since this movie's out, her movie's coming out. It's a cash grab, obviously. It's a good time to put the book out because it'll probably be wrapping up when the Birds of Prey movie comes out. So I'm guessing that's part of their strategy. But should you buy this book?
I would still say it's probably one of the better Black Label books.
But yeah, basically it's a noir style. I believe, her card says she is a forensics psychiatrist and behavior analyst. So, and she goes by Harley Quinn. So it's kind of like Joker is basically just a serial killer to them in this book. He's not like a supervillain, or you only see Batman's light. That's the only time you see Batman alluded to at all. So basically, Joker was a serial killer, killed off Harley's roommate. Now Harley kind of is hunting him down, trying to solve this big crime of who is the Joker. So yeah, and there's a lot of fun stuff with the Gotham City Police Department too. Most of them are just a bunch of ignorant jerks. I can't remember what the one guy's name is. I don't know if it's a character original of the comic, but it's just some guy who works for Gordon basically, and he always just gives Harley a hard time immediately every time she shows up on the crime scene. So, like I said, interesting rate. Not sure if it's going to be worth a $6 pull a month, but if I was going to put my money in a one title, it'd probably still be Harleen from Selgic. That was a really, really good read. Beautiful art. Like I said, the art's great in this one too. But I'm going to wait and see what other people think of the overall story in this one. I'm not going to stay on board for 9 issues.
Yeah, I read the first half of it, and I think I'm enjoying this more than Harleen.
Really? Nice.
For me, I feel like Harleen kind of spun its wheels too much, and I was just waiting for her and the Joker to interact, kind of like conversation-wise, one-on-one. And I knew it was going to happen at the end, and it finally happened at the end, and it stopped. I was like, all right, well, like I guess part 2 hopefully is way more interesting for me. But I did have really cool art and stuff too as well. But this one, I just love that Mayhew design.
Yeah,
and
Mayhew
art.
stuff's amazing.
Yeah.
I think if you're investing in magazine-sized bags and boards and a $7 issue, Harleen's where your money should go. I didn't pick that one up, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's why I was wondering how the Harleen story is going to affect sales on this one.
Stopped it, damned.
The same style and everything. So that was a weird time to release it. That's all I got.
I didn't like Damned, and
I love Damned, dude. I loved it.
It had nothing to do with the deck.
Yeah, I'm still reading through that hardcover. I got it over there. That's my read for tomorrow.
Damned is probably bad for you, but plenty of people out there love heroin. Live your truth.
I mean, my Batman is a little different. I definitely don't have.
My Etrigan the Demon isn't a cholo rapper.
Right, that's Joker. That's Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a bronzy Batman-ish kind of fan. So that's about it.
I didn't care for the Bermejo art. I think that guy is. If he's for you, he's for you. But
Azzarello doesn't impress me much either.
No,
I'm sorry.
Count me out.
Yeah. He's like a wannabe, like Ed Brubaker. In my opinion,
cannot.
You can't be Brubaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot. All right, he did some good works. I mean, it's not like he's terrible. You cannot. Yeah. But he's done it on everything I've ever seen. He jumps the shark.
Brubaker, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Jumps the shark if he does a 7-issue set, that shark jumps like 4 times. Oh, I bet you didn't see this coming. Boom, boom. And then the twist, and then the drama, and then. And he's good though. I mean, it's entertaining. I'm not going to say that, but he's very much difficult read. I find him as a bit much for me. So. Sorry, John's Comics with Kids, because here we go. I'm sure he was going to be bad mouthing me for saying what I said about Brian Azzarello.
So Drew, he's not here. He's Paul
yeah,
he's not here. He's here in spirit.
Oh man, I picked up a lot of stuff this week, guys. I picked up a lot of stuff to read.
Yeah, what'd you get?
And I picked up a lot of stuff just for the covers. I want to go over some covers real quick before I get into what I read, because I didn't read that much. I left a lot unread, but man, this was terrible. But I had to pick up these variants here for Ivy and Harley. What a shit!
I almost did.
What a
almost
shit!
Picked this up, but I couldn't really those prices.
Look, it's really bad, but I mean, look at that cover right there. DC knows how to put a great cover on a shitty book.
And who are we attributing this to?
This is Derek Liu.
Okay.
Yeah. This is really good. Really enjoy those covers.
I was gonna. He's definitely a disciple of the Greg Horn, Frank Cho school of drawing TNA.
Yeah, and you know he's fallen in with the Chew and Middleton
Art
and
Germ.
Durham painterly digital paint style, and you know when he pulls it off, it's pretty good. But Marvel knows how to hook you with a gimmick, because I bought Loki today because it had a Mary Jane variant here. I'm buying all these Mary Jane variants.
You like me some Jen Bartel?
This
Ginger fun. Look at Gingeritis.
This was fantastic.
Ooh, nice.
You like Gingeritis?
Cool.
Look at that. I just love the Spider-Man belt with high-waisted pants. It's just like I don't remember who did this cover, but man, is it?
That's
Looks like you.
Cover if I ever saw one.
It's just that's a cover buy right
You know
there.
what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that Betty and Veronica.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got a Mirka and Dolfo right here. We got Miles eating fries. That's I dug that. I had to pick that up. I thought she looks great in this evening gown being held up by a bunch of Doom bots.
I almost got that one.
Had to grab that. Had to grab it. And this one I think was the best of the bunch, and this was the Amazing Spider-Man variant, which is the upside down kiss.
A book she may actually appear in.
Yep, that was really cool. Hey man, I'll buy these gimmick books. Such a poor concept for covers. You don't want any of them, John? That's fine. I'll buy them all. I did buy the last time they did it. I bought them all too. They were really great. I dig it. As far as
that's not me. I buy stupid shit all the time.
No, John's Comics with Kids on the comment.
Oh, Mary Jane variants. Oh
yeah,
there you go.
Dr. Doom. I really enjoyed it. Picked up this variant as well.
I saw that on my pull list. That's the one I was supposed to be getting.
Yeah, I got a cover price. I don't know. This is a Diodato, so it might have been.
It's
1 in 10 or something. But
he's part of the Young Guns, so they're doing the B covers with them.
I haven't read Contagion 1 yet, but I am picking up the connecting vertical variants, so I'm probably going to get into this sometime later tonight.
I like the blending of Fantastic Four and the Iron Fist kind of characters. So I'm looking forward to where it's going to go. But right now it's kind of lackluster. But hopefully it'll pick up.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's any good or not. I like Deceased. I like what they're doing with that over in DC. I like Marvel Zombies. This seems to be much different. But at the same time, that connecting vertical variant, I was like, hey, count me in on that shit.
Oh yeah.
Oblivion Song. This is getting more into the characters, and there's less going on in the story, but at the same time, you're starting to figure out what the Faceless Men are all about and their trial for the conquest of Earth. It's just I don't know where it's going, and I'm really still enjoying it. I think the art is phenomenal. Kirkman does a great job. This is Kirkman's best book
since Steve of Thieves.
It's better than Walking Dead. It's better than what was the
Steve of Thieves is great, man.
Don't insult Invincible.
Yeah,
I've never read Invincible.
Oh man,
it's on my to-do list, but I've never read it.
You should.
I mean, everybody, it kind of so funny about Kirkman. Everybody has their different favorite Kirkmans. I mean, there are Walking Deaders. There are people like me that like Thief of Thieves because that was just so different for any book we ever read. You know?
I love Walking Dead. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot to love there. There's also a lot there too.
Garth Ennis is another one that's kind of.
Yeah, I liked Outcast too. Outcast was really great until you kind of figured out what was going on and the book changed.
First 9 issues were phenomenal, though. First 9 issues.
I agree 100%.
Honestly, I think like the first 19 issues for me were like really good, and then like around 2023, something like that, they kind of unfolded the entire mystery, and the war between these factions was interesting. Figuring out what the war was in the first place. I also picked up a couple other indie books, and I'm going to call these indie books even though they have DC on them because the selling point is the indie book, and it's the best Justice League that we've look. Don't get me wrong, Snyder's Justice League started really strong. I love the art with Jorge Jimenez, fantastic art. The best Justice League has been in 30 years is Justice League
Black Hammer. Yep, amen, dude. So good.
Yeah, and I picked up all the covers for that one. I'll show you that was the the Zatanna cover, but I love this kind of sad Batman sitting on.
Nice.
I just love that. And he's still wearing the Rebirth costume, so you know that Lemire was working on this a long time ago, and they finally figured out a way to get it out. But
And it's a
I dig
5
that.
issue.
I think it's 6.
I think 6. Okay, good.
Picked up some True Believers and a facsimile today. Very heavy X-Men True Believers here. Got that first Betsy Braddock
with 141.
right. You got that 141 in there, and then the facsimile. Man, I read all of these. Fantastic stuff. Not my
What
first.
was the other one they had? They had the the.
That's the first Betsy Braddock.
Oh, so it's after it's the Captain Britain storyline.
Yeah.
Okay.
DC wise, the only things really worth picking up these days are Detective Comics. I grabbed
awesome.
that.
I'm excited to read it. I love the last issue.
And I think these Kirkham covers have me buying it, and I have not been reading this. I found the first.
I know. I almost bought that too, man. I almost did.
Like,
I almost got suckered in.
Kirkham cover. What am I going to do? I'm going to buy it. That's what I'm going to do.
I almost got suckered in, dude. I just couldn't help it because I know the story is so bad.
I was excited. C2E2 was pretty much funded by the sales of Donny Cates books, and also my Immortal Hulk run. I sold those things in order to go to Chicago and have a good time. What I love about that is that I've been buying these Immortal Hulk director's cuts, and
Tell me it's so much better.
here, the scripts, like honestly,
Dude,
to
it's like
see the way that they put this book together and how timeless it really is really amazing. So I've been rereading these as they come out and taking the time to really comb over the pencils. Some of them have rough inks, some of them have just the pencils. This one has also the what would you call it? Like the
prelims. There's prelims.
Yeah, it's got the script and all the layouts, all the roughs. So that's really cool. I really dig that. Read Miles Morales Absolute Carnage. I'm actually really liking all of these Absolute Carnage tie-ins, and there's so many of them. There's so many of them, but I think that they really flesh out the story, and the story beyond issue 1, which was very, very story heavy. The main issues of Absolute Carnage are just like, check out this action, and you're like, okay, I'm along for the ride, and it takes you where you need to go, but at the same time, I really, really enjoy the fact that they're deep diving into these stories a little bit more and giving you character motivation in these tie-ins. That's the way tie-ins are supposed to work. They're supposed to be superfluous, but additive. And that's exactly what they're doing with this Absolute Carnage stuff. And I'm digging it. And I don't know who
the last one for Miles Morales, 3 of 3. I would say the first one was very skippable. 2 is really good though. So I'm really hoping 3 follows up.
Skippable too, because I read it before I read the main story.
Yeah. I read them both at the same time.
If I would have read it after, I think I would have enjoyed it more. Because it's like, okay, well, this is what's happening here. Let's go ahead and check that out. I did pick up one.
I was reading Absolute Carnage, and then it got to a point where it's like, oh yeah, read this tie-in, or this story was mentioned this tie-in. So like I went and read that because that came out like that week also, and then after I caught up, I continued reading Carnage. Then I got to the point where Miles Morales was at the end, and I was like, all right, well, let me read that. And I got to the point where it was at the same part of the story. I read them and saw like the little difference in dialogue, difference in action. It was still a like fun little activity to do, but I would say Miles Morales part 1 completely skippable, but I'm good because that's the last part of it, the little mini,
I also picked up this Pepe Larraz character breakdown cover. I got this for $1 over cover price, and I'm like, it's Pepe, and it's Venom Hulk.
I kind of all the Young Guns. He's kind of surprising me like Chichetto did the most. I think they're definitely. I wanted somebody different. I'm tired of the Artgerm style. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but I'm tired of that cover style. I'm just done with it. I love Perillo. That's different for me because that's very different to me. Perillo.
Oh yeah, for sure, way different.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just tired of
that. Perillo Red Goblin cover looks amazing. I really want to get that Red Goblin cover
There's
coming
so
out by
Perillo that I think is just ridiculously fun. So
That's a fat stack, Drew.
It is a fat stack, and I'll tell you what this all is right here. This is bam, Powers of X number 6. There's
Yeah.
right there. Oh man, I bought this cover too.
I almost bought that. I almost bought
man.
it.
This is the connecting villains variant. This is absolutely epic. I love that. Bam, Scotty
Yeah.
Young. He's talking about collectors there. He's talking about mint condition. It's just great, funny stuff. Hey, even these ugly ass action figure variants. This one's got armor, and I love that.
Star
Here's
Wars.
the 3-headed Sentinel monster from the year 100 or whatever. What's up?
That's cool.
Go back to foil. Get rid of those action figures. I hate those.
I like the action figures, honestly, because
Star Wars
I'm a
ones were
figure.
the ones- Star Wars ones were the ones. I know the Secret Wars ones were
Right.
worse. The Star Wars ones were better.
I tell you what, man, I love the Marvel Legends action figures. I'm a big action figure collector.
Oh, I know.
And when I see these characters here, I'm like, when am I getting my figure?
Yeah.
Like my favorite one was like
You're
the
on
Guardians of the Galaxy, like not the latest volume, the volume before where the Thing was on the team. And he was in his Guardians of the Galaxy costume. He did an action figure variant of that. And I was like, I want that. I want that now.
That's a good run.
Dude, the only one I want is the Ghost Rider Black Metal What If. Like the Black Metal
really
action
good too,
figure.
isn't
Like
it?
it's so sick, dude. I want
Right?
that one so bad.
I was thinking. I thought there was. Isn't there the Cosmic Ghost Rider one?
There is a Cosmic Ghost Rider one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually coming out. He's coming out with his bike. So I'm going to be able to get that
Okay,
figure. This is the foreshadowing variant. So that looks like it's Sunspot almost.
Is it the Red King? Is it the Red King?
I don't know, but that right there is the whole
Ooh,
Shi'ar
I like
Empire
that.
kneeling at his feet.
Oh, yeah, look at
that-
Shi'ar.
Interesting.
and this was the Generations cover for the last issue, and that's the Wolverine.
Oh, nice.
Oh, dope.
That's one that's going to pop. All these generation variants have really kicked up. And I'm going to tell you right now, guys, I did not have a chance to put together the video review the way that I like to do. But holy shit, is Hickman,
Mhm.
it's a master class that everybody who writes and draws comics and does layouts and any sort of fiction whatsoever should just pay attention to this guy.
Yeah.
And the way that he puts
He's the Michael Jordan of the game, dude. He's just annihilating everyone. Like no one can withstand like Hickman's level of just
it's just
amazingness. It's ridiculous,
so
dude.
over the top how good it is. It's like people are like, oh yeah, well, are you reading Tom King's Batman? And there's still people who like that.
It's deep, dude.
That's fine that there are people out there that like that. I know I don't, but there's something for everybody, and every book has an audience. I don't read Squirrel Girl, okay, but there is an audience out there for it. I mean, I read it for the first 20 issues. Let's just say that. But I love Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I do. It makes me smile when I read it. I have a fun time. I like the point of view that it has. There are a lot of books out there that are critically acclaimed that I cannot stand. But I'm going to tell you right now, unequivocally, nobody is putting something out at this level of quality at this clip. Like the pace that they're releasing these books, the quality of the art, the quality of the story, the level of depth in the continuity that they dive, there are people arguing on the internet about dumb little loopholes. And then if you read back through the whole damn thing, I just read it all, right? I went back through it and I read it all, and there's no loopholes. There's one loophole. The only one loophole is that Wolverine still has adamantium balls after he's cloned. That's it. Like and you can just be like, nah, comics at anything. But every single point in this book is controlled. It's planned. It has a reason for being there. And people will be like, well, Hickman did this and this. And it's kind of like just hanging out there right now. Don't worry. He'll address it within the next 2 years. He does not leave loose ends. And the way that this all came together, it really blew my mind. I was absolutely right when I said a couple weeks ago that, this is just going to come together kind of like an alpha issue for the whole series, the whole 12 issues between the two miniseries, this whole maxi it's basically an alpha for his universe. And it sets the bar in a way that nothing has set the bar in comics in a very long time. You're taking decades of continuity and boiling it down and then picking and choosing out of it what you want and building a bigger world where everything can be. If Comic Core were the X-Men, the universe would be in deep shit. You know, guess what, man? Snick, I'm here to save your universe, right? I'm here to save your universe. And you know, that's what Hickman has done. It's just every character has a chance to shine. There's nothing that was dropped in any of these books that has not been addressed, has not come full circle. It's just really, really great.
Yeah, I'm really I'm excited to see what they how they answer the Richards boy thing, which they haven't gotten into. You know, they kind of mentioned in the early issue, and that's it. They dropped it, but
that's gonna come. It's gonna come. There's going to be a point where Franklin has.
It's like the only thing they didn't answer. Yeah, it's like the only thing they didn't answer.
Well, you know what? They didn't have to answer it because
it's not necessary.
They didn't pose a question. Cyclops was just like, it's coming. Right, it was just a little bit of foreshadowing. It's like, hey, tell your.
You know what else is coming? That orgy. You know that's coming, dude. It's like a love square. It's a love rectangle going on.
Gonna breed with everybody at the same time. Can he bamf one load into like 8 ladies? Is that?
Oh my god! Now it's off the rails. Now it's a Friday night show.
This is what we talked about before we got on the air. We don't serve their kind here.
Fracking Cylon.
Yeah.
Man.
This is why we have toasters and stuff, you know. Personally, come in
Man,
here.
look at this awesome chat we got going on.
Who is here?
Just look at John's Comics with Kids in the chat. Chris Barrett still in the chat. Z Collect, thank you so much for asking people to hit that like button. We got Mr. Gretzky 9966 in the chat.
Gretzky, what's up,
Gretzky.
dude?
I always like seeing Gretzky. He's got a great Superman collection, that guy. And then we had Steven Spock in the chat. Man. And then Dennis Hayes was in the chat talking about destroying X-Force #1. So a lot of great people coming out tonight. We still got 24 live watching. We're talking about
that's what's up. That's awesome.
Nightcrawler and stuff.
We were. So now let's talk. We're going to Baltimore, everybody. We are about a week away, 8 days. Well, some of us are close.
I got to pack, dude. I got to pull my books to get signed, man.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of that, dude. I got to prep, man.
That's what I'm going to talk about. Let's talk.
Yeah.
One of the things I always do is I prepped and I started prepping. And I'm going to share with people some of the books I think I'm going to have signed because, and these aren't what you would normally, but if you've watched any of my videos about my signature series books or what I get signed, they are more meaningful to me. Whether I get them slabbed or not has nothing to do with, it might have something to do with why I would get it slabbed versus there. It has less to do with the value of the book and more to do what it means. For example, I can't wait to get Mr. Greg Land to sign this cover. I collect Thor versus Hulk covers. It is one of my favorite things.
Oh, sweet.
This is
That's awesome.
very much a way before Ragnarok. Unworthy. Looks very familiar. Short hair, using the axe. This is great cover. Greg Land is going to be there. I'm very excited. I talked to Cullen Bunn enough times that I have to bring it and get him to sign it. This is original Empty Man #1. This is my first copy of this book. This was my first book I ever got by him. And I said, this man is twisted and crazy. I friended him on Facebook, called him a drunk, became a friend. And how I got really into the Comic Core was them advertising or saying that they were going to have Cullen Bunn on. And I was on my way up from in Minnesota to a con. I was already made like 4 or 5 videos. I might have had like 16 or 18 subscribers. And Carson was interviewing, and he was running the show, and the guys were interviewing Cullen Bunn. And I swear to you, I was the one who I sent something out there that says, ask him about Empty Man 1. Because this is by far my favorite one for him. This one's going to bring some people back. We were talking about this today off Cycle. If you are a Mike Zeck and John Beatty both, you get the double. Some people are going to get their
Secret Wars.
The Secret Wars #8 or any of the Secret Wars. All good choices. I prefer this. I just love this cover. Not 2 of my favorite characters, but 2 characters I like. But
dude, Zeck always has some sick prints at the table, man. Like so I got one last time at C2E2, I think it was, or maybe it was Baltimore Comic Con. It was Baltimore. So like I'm definitely getting another Zeck print, man. Like there's so many to choose from, and he signs them for you, you know, and you can get a choice of COA as well, you know, and like his like wife is there, or whatever, and they're both so sweet and so nice. It's so good.
Is he doing sketches this con?
I'm not sure. That'd be amazing. He did that last year. He did last year.
I
So
heard he's
that'd be
doing
sick.
them, but they like I'm trying to get a few. Zach's on my list of possible. We'll get into that, and I'll let everybody do their books. They can look at it again first. Here's one kind of a weird book to choose. I may or may not do it. I don't know if anybody's familiar. Francisco Francavilla.
Oh, I love Francavilla, dude.
This is a great book that I it's 4-part. I don't know if you're familiar with The Black Beetle. It's just a good story, and it's by far the best cover. And I thought, and it's funny. These are all the noir. Remember, I was talking about how we think that the best noir genre and everything else. This was my pick for my favorite noir covers and everything.
Oh, dude!
And everything he did. This was an Eisner winner. I just want him. He'll be there, and he's one of my favorites. So this is a great one. Colt City.
I hope he has this like Mondo posters for sale, like some left. Like they're so good, man.
I got one out there my whole life.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Jealous.
And then somebody I'm excited to see besides the Simonsons, and I can't show you because I literally it's in the slab and I don't want to get in the slabs. I'm actually going to crack a slab and do Simonsons. It's a 9/8.
Oh damn!
Cracking it open.
Cracking a 9/8, dude. Oh snap!
Back a 9/4.
To draw, it's his first Thor cover. It's his first cover for Marvel, but his first Thor cover as well, obviously. That I want him to draw on it.
Wow, man, that's huge.
Sign it, dude. And first cover and everything else. And I have 2 copies, and I was like, I could bring the raw, and then I'm like, crack that sumbitch open.
Dude, you got to get someone to record that whole thing. Like you cracking it open.
I'm not cracking it open. They are CG.
Okay, we'll make a little video compilation. The process as it happens.
There's kind of a deal with that. I don't know. I had to bring last time I brought like 4 slabs to C2E2, but the other one, Howard Chaykin's going to be there. Everybody. I think is Roy Thomas going to be there?
I don't think I saw his name on the list.
Tom Palmer.
I think so.
Palmer, maybe. He's from there, I think, isn't he? Palmer would be good, but this is Howard Chaykin right here. And I'm also going to look for my Cody Starbuck #1. If anybody knows what that is, it is a adult comic from the 70s that was literally the inspiration for George Lucas. Okay? It's after it came out afterwards, but Cody Starbuck is very much, think of the name, Cody Starbuck. This is in the 70s. Battlestar Galactica wasn't there yet, and Han Solo and everything else. This was the first pirate buccaneer space guy. I made him sign that. George Lucas gave him the Ralph McQuarrie drawings, and he had to do the first 12 issues before he saw the movie. So he never saw the movie, and he drew all the covers and the interiors based on McQuarrie drawings. So it's very much that you get to see Howard Chaykin, but he doesn't really like it. He thinks he thinks it's crap. It's great. So I can't wait to talk to him about that. Plus, I want to talk about the Sword of Sorcery stories I've always heard about. There's a great DC run, 5-issue set in 1973. 73? Yeah, around that time. Yeah, Sword of Sorcery. Yeah, #5 would be December of 73. So yeah, it was Sword of Sorcery was done. First one, there was the Bernie Wrightson covers. They were Howard Chaykin covers. There was Jim Starlin. It was Walt Simonson covers. They all lived together in an apartment, and they were doing Sword of Sorcery. If you ever read that stuff, you ever look at that stuff, you could tell there's drugs all over this stuff. It's just great. Well, that's another thing awesome. I want to get signed, and I might just get him to just tell me the story of how they did the cover and the interior to Sword of Sorcery 3. I mean, that's just everybody's on the cover. If you want to know who did it, it's like Simonson did it with Jim Starlin and Bernie Wrightson and Howard Chaykin.
Isn't Steranko going to be there as well?
Jim will be there. Yeah. Actually, Jim doesn't go by Jim Steranko on the Baltimore Coming.
The great Steranko.
It just says Steranko.
Okay. The great Malenko.
I would recommend if you bring are you bringing something for Steranko to sign?
I wish, dude. I might have to buy something though there.
Yeah, I would just recommend buying something off his table. I think
Steranko has.
What time are you coming in? Do you want to get a comic book signed, or would you get a?
I will see how much money I can get by then, and we'll see. I'm coming in. We're coming in Thursday. But that night I have to go to a concert on behalf of like my record label I work for. But I'm excited for that. So yeah, I'm be lifting and Ubering all over the place.
Yeah, we'll be there. But that's just some books I want to have signed, so you got some
Cool.
signed in there.
Very cool.
Share with everybody. That was it. And
What do you got, Seawood?
I mean, let's be honest. I'm probably gonna.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, he's gonna be there.
Yeah, man.
Are you getting it slabbed?
So I'm probably not. If I was gonna get one slabbed, I would get the Y slabbed because it doesn't have a coffee stain on it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have him sign right there on her neck where the coffee stain is. So,
Yeah.
Cover that coffee stain for me, please, Brian. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll probably end up taking those with me. See what happens. We were talking about Francavilla. Definitely,
That's a great one. I was thinking.
Yep.
And
I
by
only
the
have
way,
the trade, so I also
Yeah,
I'm trying to get a original art by him too.
and there's that poster I have, by the way.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
That is
Oh,
dope.
that's
If
so
I was a
sick.
poster tube guy, I would definitely take this Black Mirror.
Can we enlarge that one, JD? Can we enlarge Seawood? I want to see that bigger. JD, can we? Oh yeah, thanks, man.
Oh, thanks. I was gonna say this is a big iPad, unfortunately, on the third hand. But yeah, I have this one in my hole. I'll zoom it out so you can see.
Yeah.
I have the other Jock one, the Batman Year One next to it. I
Oh,
have those
cool.
two hanging in my hallway out
That's
there.
awesome.
Oh, that's so sick, dude. Oh, it's
But, yeah.
amazing.
I do love me some Mondo posters. So you're talking about, and that's my picture of them I got on my iPad. But
Dude, it's so
yeah,
good.
that Black Mirror one's definitely a favorite of mine. So I'll probably gonna take the hardcover for this too because I already have Jock and Scott Snyder in the hardcover. So
Ooh, wow, nice. Yeah.
and then I haven't sorted out everything else yet. I got a little stack here. I'm probably gonna throw in my bag. I gotta take Steel #1, and it's a new.
Oh yeah.
I've had this one
Fun.
since what was it? February of 1994 is when I bought this comic. I read a lot of this run. So for nostalgic purposes, I'm definitely gonna have to take at least one of these for Louise Simonson to sign.
Dude, what if you ever met Shaq, man? How amazing would that be?
That would be-
Isn't the writer going to be there?
What's that?
Who wrote that?
Louise Simonson.
Yeah, but there's somebody else who did the artwork. There's some other people that are going to be there who did that.
The artist on this was John Bognavone, and he's not. If he was there, I would take a lot more. But Brett Breeding is going to be there, who was the inker for a lot of the Dan Jurgens Superman. So
Okay,
I'm probably going to sort out my copy of Superman 50. I got signed in the boxes back there somewhere, and I might end up taking a Superman 75 with me just because why not? I like I said, I do love me my 90s Superman artist a lot, so I'm probably have to take some stuff with me for that. I'm definitely taking this for Ordway to get signed. I know Legends excited to meet Ordway, so I'm definitely taking my Power Shazam #1 with me. I bought this for $1 today, so I figured why not? I already got issue 1 signed by Ty Templeton. May as well take my issue 2, throw it in the bag in case I end up meeting him again. And then we'll use the light shield here just in case.
Cool.
On Monday, it was like a buy one get one free deal. So I got the Gold Wildcats. So
What'd you pay for that?
it was in a buy one get one free deal. So I bought New Avengers 1 through 16 for $25, and then this was on his wall for $20. So it was buy one get one free. So I got this book for free.
Cool. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I know how to get the deal sometimes.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
So basically free. I figured that was kind of a sign. Maybe take this, get a Jim Lee right across there. Figure it'd be real nice.
That's
I
good.
sold one of those signed by Jim Lee on one of the first auctions I ever did with All About Comics, and
Nice.
fetched way more than I thought it would. I was
It's a beautiful
I
book.
was very
It's the most
surprised.
unique book you will ever see, in my opinion. It's like image #1, check. Jim Lee, check. Silver or shiny gold, check. Diecast, check. I mean, it hits all the 90s checkpoints.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gimmick, check.
And that came
I don't
out.
know that.
Did that come out? Was that like a? It wasn't the same week that the first one debuted. Those were special giveaways, right?
Me and the
They
shop,
weren't variants. They weren't ratio variants.
he thought it was I did a little bit of research online, not much, but anyway, it seemed like it was like a 1 per retailer or a 1 in 100, something like that.
Every store got it that ordered a certain number of books, whatever it was, from Image as a whole, not just Wildcats. There was a promo for each book, and I think it came with 4. So if you got that one,
Hey, fuckers, did you buy Brigade? Here's a
Yeah.
book.
I'm sitting on some Savage Dragons. Eric Larson's freaking out over here, but
And then that's
Savage
all I've got
Dragon was
sorted
better
out
than
so
Wildcats.
far. I'm probably going to take my Thor 337 and get Simonson in that. There were a few other. I'll probably, since you're going with your Star Wars one, I'll probably just take mine as well.
yeah, I mean, it's not my. I have one slabbed, and that was my first comic ever, and I'm not gonna crack that slab. It's got enough. I don't want shaking on that one because I didn't discover or care who drew the cover until I was much older, and when I discovered it was Howard Chaykin, I then found this Cody Starbuck, and then I heard this story, and it's been confirmed. He talks about it where George Lucas read Cody Starbuck and then called him up and said, "I want you to draw with Stan Lee." And imagine being Howard Chaykin, and you really haven't done that much with Marvel so far. I mean, you've done some Kill Ravens. Okay, let's talk about what you've done. You've introduced Kill Raven and a few other things, but you really haven't done any major things at Marvel. And now there's an unknown movie that nobody knows about anything else, and it's this. You probably think like, what am I getting into? All right, fine. Stan tells me to do this. It's Stan Lee and George Lucas. Nobody ever heard of George, really, unless you watched American Graffiti or you were a Coppola.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And this is what it ends up becoming. And he's like, that's what I'm most known for. I hate it. He's like, shit. He goes, it's such bad art. I didn't have nothing to go on. I'm like, let me get this straight. I have a movie I can't see. You want me to draw?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Giving me the script. I have the script, and I can add a lib, and we're going to write it differently because you have a script, and then you have the comic guy writers. And he's like, this is ridiculous. But
yeah, that's nuts.
it's a great story. He's like, I got the colors all wrong. It's crap. He goes, Luke's huge.
What about you, Drew? You got anything sorted out for this con yet?
I tell you what, I'm going to take a couple things to get slabbed. I know I'm going to take that Mickey variant from Comics 1000 and get that slabbed. I'm thinking about my my tomb of Dracula number 10, getting that slabbed up.
To get slabbed?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are done at my presser. I got to pick them up this week.
I think mine's in pretty good condition. I'm not looking for like a really high grade on it. If I get between a 4 and a 6, I'll be very, very happy.
Very good.
I got it for a good price in Chicago. I was surprised. So, if I get that slabbed, maybe I'll just turn that around when Blade pops. But who knows? Beyond that, man, I'm not really super duper excited to get anything signed aside from maybe my Black Hammer number 1. Because and maybe my Gideon Falls number 1 as well.
Definitely getting my Gideon Falls signed.
Right, and I got a couple of variants from Black Hammer variants that I might try to get Lemire on. But beyond that, man, like my focus at this con is to hang out, have a good time.
Same.
The thing that I love most about Baltimore is like $2 boxes, $5 boxes. Finding something in those boxes, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't seen this recently. I'll just pick it up there. Right, I'm gonna bring a whole backpack just to fill with books. Just picking up randoms, dollar boxes, things like that. Picking up action figures, hanging out, having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not super pressed about going there to get anything signed. I'm not super pressed about standing in lines.
Yeah, same.
And I brought a lot of stuff to C2E2, and the lines kind of overwhelmed me to the point where there were a lot of things that I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna have a good time. And I think that if I go into this con in that same manner, like if there's an artist that I like and he's got sweet variants on the table, yeah, count me in. But there are a few different variants from the House and Powers run that I might get slabbed just because they've kind of popped a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. But some of those 1 in 25s are pretty hot, and
yeah,
we'll see what happens with that. But I've got.
I'm really hoping to buy. I'm really hoping to buy like a lot of those House of X, Powers of 10 stuff, because I missed out on it completely because I had no LCS by me or time to go out there. But now I kind of do now, so I got the latest issue, but I got to get all the rest now. And I just love it so much, man. I just got to get them.
Sell them to you. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm excited for everybody to come to town. and just cut loose and have a good time. And whatever happens at the con happens, man. I made plans for Sunday. My daughter and one of her friends are going to come down, and we're going to hang out on Sunday, do the family thing, for as long as she can tolerate me. And then her and her friend will just run around and do what they do, because they're high schoolers now. So you don't need dad hanging out.
So
Come to me when you need hot dog money.
What's the latest bailout time for you?
Bailout time?
Yeah, well, we can bail you out of jail to get you to your family.
My daughter is being dropped off like 9:30 on Sunday
at the con.
Yeah,
so you'll be fine. We'll get you by con.
Right. If I'm not there, I'll just have somebody hold their wristbands, just stand outside, being like, 2 random teenage girls, where are you? Try not to get arrested.
Let's be honest, Drew. It might be you and I holding up Weekend at Bernie's misexplained over here.
Yeah, totally. I'm definitely gonna be Bernie again.
Yeah.
Look, I plan on being pretty Bernie myself.
Yeah. Very good.
I'm just super excited for everybody to come to town and have a good time.
Get slabbed, but they're at the presser. I'm gonna wait to show those next week. So.
Yeah, me and BKR have been talking a little bit, and I think I will be providing some herbal refreshment, and we'll just have a good old time.
Right on.
I just said that on the internet. Shit.
Oh, better than my video where I like smoked on air live.
Legal where you are?
What's that?
Is it legal in Maryland?
I mean, medically, but I don't have a license. I'm no doctor.
It's a joke. Right. It's a joke we have here. We're right by Colorado. Is it legal here? Yep.
Yep.
It's legal enough.
Yeah.
Look, there's enough crime going on in downtown Baltimore that they're not going to be worried about me having a good time.
We're excited about that too. So
I think that other popular channel, Comic Pop, those 2 of those guys are going to be there. So I'm excited to talk to those guys and see if I can convince them to go out to dinner with us or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen Sal there like the past 2 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, He's a really nice guy. Took the time out to talk to you. Yeah.
Oh, that rules.
Good dude.
I'm excited to meet the guy. Hell yeah.
He's a much larger individual. Like, I'm a big dude. Like, Sal makes me look small. Like,
I figured he looks like he'd be tall, right?
He is. He's a big guy, but on top of that, he is tall. He's like, I was like, hi, hey, you know,
wow,
looking up at
that's
him.
amazing.
Like, yeah, man, he's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Wow, cool.
Carson was surprisingly taller than I thought he was.
Carson looked exactly how I expected him to look. Spitting image of my dreams.
Paul's tall, yeah. Paul's tall.
Because usually has the camera like up here pointing down at him, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, taller than me.
Paul is a tall drink of water himself. Rest in peace.
All right,
what you thinking about?
All right, we're gonna be closing up in a little bit. We got I don't know the guys doing new comic book day chat. Alec or
I thought John's Comics with Kids was dead.
It's on White Whale channel. White Whale channel.
It's on White Whale's channel. Pay our condolences to John's Comics.
And Perry and the Lurkers are out tonight. You see him in the chat, so they could be watching us right now. Let me be peeking on Perry's video. I think he was watching us a little ago. We almost had some videoception going on.
Nice. Very good stuff. Well,
so lots of good stuff. Our homies are on YouTube everywhere. But I'm probably going to stop over on White Whale's channel. It looks like it's White Whale and The Boy Who Had 7 tonight. So.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah, talking about House and Powers of 10. So.
Oh, wow. So something we
haven't talked about.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for being here. Have a good one.
See you.